is up, geeks? My name is Shawna, pronouns she, they.
My name is Joe, pronouns she, they.
And we are
Mythic Geekdom!
Before we get into today's video, please make sure that you're checking out all of the geeky content here on this channel. You can subscribe, you can check out reaction videos, you can check out other things that we've got going on. Make sure that you're liking and dropping something down in the comments below.
Alright, so today we are going to be playing a game.
Yay!
We are going to have a guessing game about fandoms that we are each individually familiar with. I am a big fan of Final Fantasy and that video game series.
I am a big fan of D&D and all the plethora of tabletop that it does then provide.
I enjoy D&D, but I don't know nearly as much as this dungeon master over here.
And I have never played Final Fantasy.
So we are going to play a guessing game of real or not. I am going to mention some Final Fantasy monsters to Shawna. Some of them are going to be real Final Fantasy monsters that one would encounter in a random battle. And some of them are completely fake things that I made up or stole from some other property. And we are going to see if Shawna can identify if this monster is real in the Final Fantasy world or not.
Adding to this, if I think it's a real one,
yes,
I have to say what I think it either looks like or does.
Okay.
Like a signature move. Alright, I'm ready. I got this. If I could, like, crack my knuckles and stuff, I'd be doing that. Crack, 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 crackety, crack, crack, crack. I'm ready.
The first one, real or not, flan.
Oh my gosh. I know it's a type of dessert.
Is this a Final Fantasy
I'm
monster?
gonna say it is not a Final Fantasy monster.
You are incorrect. It is a real Final Fantasy monster.
Yo, people named after a great food? What?
Oh, Japan.
Why would you do that? And now your arch nemesis, creme brulee. I mean, what?
Please tell me what you think a flan looks like and does.
I feel it's some kind of like gelatinous, oozy kind of character that kind of like surrounds you or
like a gelatinous
makes you all
cube or
like
something?
it slimes you like a 90s throwback and it slimes you and makes you slow or lose a turn.
This is what the flans look like.
It is gelatin in it.
It is.
Nissies.
In some of the Final Fantasy games, flans only take magic damage, no melee damage.
Got it. I'm still sad that you took a dessert, a perfectly good dessert, and you have made people think it is the enemy. It is not the enemy. It is delicious.
Is this a Final Fantasy monster? Marlboro.
That's not a real Final Fantasy monster.
You are incorrect. That is a real Final Fantasy monster.
What? Is it a giant cigarette?
Close.
Is it like a smoking kind of situation?
Okay, it is a very giant creature, and it's not a cigarette, but it would
cigarette butt.
It's definitely not good for you. This is a Marlboro.
Ew, it's like an Audrey too.
Yeah,
that's gross.
It's this giant, it's huge, so like it's this big and your characters are this big. And one of the main attacks of the Marlboro is bad breath, which is not out of line with your whole cigarette idea, but
it's just got halitosis. I'm gonna cast Tic Tac, just gross.
It notoriously casts every single kind of status, a negative status effect.
I have a perfect
all at
weapon.
Once.
Floss.
That's a lot closer than you think.
Amazing!
Because the only thing that blocks and guards against every kind of negative status effect in the Final Fantasy game, one of the most valuable accessories,
minty dental floss,
is a ribbon.
Hey, I'm so close.
You're so close.
Minty dental floss, baby.
Don't go run into your cigarette-themed bad breath halitosis Marlboro without your minty ribbon.
and your tic-tac cantrips.
Real or fake? Cactar.
Cactar is a real Final Fantasy monster.
You are correct!
Hey, I got one!
Yay! So tell me what it looks like and what it does.
It is a sentient cactus that looks like a cowboy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, does it have a cowboy hat or?
Yeah, it's got like a cowboy hat on and it's got like guns.
Little pistols.
And that's how it like shoots at you.
Okay, excellent guess.
That's what a cactar is.
This is a cactar.
So it's Cactus Gumby. I was pretty darn close.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Yeah.
I was pretty close, guys.
And it shoots a bunch of needles at you, and it brings you down to like 1 hit point.
Okay, needles. Yeah, that. Yeah. Okay.
Real or fake? Demon crown.
My initial thought is to say that it's real, but I know Jo, and she's gonna try and mess me up. I'm gonna say it's a fake Final Fantasy monster.
You are correct. It is fake. I made that one up.
Hey.
There is, however, a demon wall. Don't ask. Is this a Final Fantasy monster? Lapania.
That is a Final Fantasy monster.
Okay, so tell me what this Lapania looks like.
Okay.
And what it does.
I'm gonna say it looks like a rabbit that is deadly, a la Monty Python. Carnivorous rabbit.
No, it's not a real monster.
It should be, and it's also a carnivorous rabbit.
Okay.
That's what that is, by the way.
Oh.
That's a Lapania. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real or fake? A zoo. It's spelt Z-U, sometimes Z-U-U, sometimes Z-U-W.
Are you pulling my leg? I'm looking at you. I think with all that information, I don't think you would have gone to extreme lengths to tell me all of the spellings if it wasn't a real Final Fantasy monster.
It is a real Final Fantasy monster, but I did try and throw you off a little bit by adding an incorrect spelling at the end. There is no Z-E-W. Just Z-U or Z-U-U.
Got it.
So what is a zoo?
A zoo it's a crazy one. A zoo is like this ox-headed, almost amphibious, lizardy body with a chipmunk tail.
That is such a great guess. Wow.
That's a zoo, guys.
You are so far off, but that is exactly the type of thing that one would put in a Final Fantasy game.
Thank you.
This is a zoo. It is a giant bird. It's a rock.
Yeah, well,
Kind of.
it looks
it's a giant
like
bird.
but the face looks like the guy in Beetlejuice when the head gets all like.
This is only one version of a zoo. It's from probably 6 or 5. It's one of the older pixelated ones before they went polygonal. Okay, a bomb.
Like a real bomb?
A bomb.
No.
It is. It is real. It is one of the most
You
famous
fight
Final Fantasy
a
monsters.
bomb?
Tell me what this bomb looks like and what it does.
It is a keg
It's a keg.
shaped
Okay.
thing with wires.
Like a gunpowder.
Yeah, but
keg.
it's got like wires that make
Okay.
no sense, and the
Okay.
wires come out and they like lash at you.
Okay.
And then if you don't defeat them in a certain amount of time, it goes poof and explodes.
You are half correct. That last part was correct. Yes, in some games I think it's 3 hits, but it's a certain amount of time.
Right.
If you don't defeat it in a certain amount of time, it will
Explode.
explode. Yeah.
I got
yeah.
it right.
And it will do damage to you and all your party as it does. But it does not look like a giant cake thing. It's an excellent guess. It looks like this.
Oh, that's like really a la Mario kind of.
Yeah,
feel.
it's like
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Is this a real Final Fantasy monster? A magic pot.
I'm thinking real hard, guys. I think you've broken my brain on this one. That is not a real Final Fantasy monster.
You were so close. It is real.
That is a real Final Fantasy monster. Boop.
So tell me what it looks like and what it does.
So it just looked like a little cauldron-y kind of crock pot situation.
Okay.
And it's got like leggings.
Okay.
And then it's got like a face on the front, and then he gets angry and he boils and like splashes and
Like,
soups
okay.
at you.
Soups at you. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the magic pot. Always has a little goblin or something inside of it. I would want to live in a magic pot as well. All right, real or fake? An Ochu.
That's a real Final Fantasy monster.
Are you 100% sure about that?
No way.
But are you going with that answer?
I'm gonna go with that answer. That thing's a real.
You are correct. An Ochu is real. It is a real Final Fantasy monster.
Hey, I got it right. An Ochu is like this like small little creature that is kind of like a burrower, like a mole or like a groundhog or something.
Okay.
It like comes up in random places. You don't know where he's gonna come up.
Okay.
And then it like bites at you, and when it bites at you, it makes the noise. Ochu! And then it goes back down in the ground.
That is such a great guess, and I love that you added this whole like Japanese like little character like Pikachu type of thing where they just say a little like that's an adorable guess. You are so far off.
I figured.
This is an Ochu. It is gargantuan.
My gosh.
You're about this big.
First of all, Ochu, I am living for your pedal tutu.
Right?
But second of all, no. I don't want to deal with that.
Okay. A real Final Fantasy monster or not? Bahamut.
Well, I know it's a real D monster. / deity.
Also a mythological, draconic
figure.
figure.
Right. I'm gonna say, nah, bro. That's not a real Final Fantasy monster.
Excellent guess. It is indeed a Final Fantasy monster.
Final Fantasy monster, like I said, yeah. Okay, in the context of Final Fantasy, I still think it deals with like a dragon god thing because they're pulling from mythology. But this dragon is silver, and it is like colossal sized.
Okay.
And it is one of the big bads, like final boss big bads of one of the games. Like Final Fantasy VIII.
Very excellent guess. Not one of the big bads of Final Fantasy VIII, but one of the big bads in at least one of the games. And Bahamut reoccurs and is in almost every single Final Fantasy game. Sometimes he is your enemy, sometimes he is your ally. You can treat him as a summon monster and he will fight on your behalf. Yeah, Bahamut is always a big deal in Final Fantasy.
Let me see him.
Okay. So this is what Bahamut looks like in, I believe, 15.
Oh.
Pretty nice, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it looks kind of like Dragonborn-esque with like being kind of humanoid.
Kinda, yeah. In this version, gorgeous though. Look at those wings.
It's really cool.
Love it. Real or fake? An adamantoise.
That's a real Final Fantasy monster.
You sound so sure of yourself.
I am not.
Well, you are correct. It is a real Final Fantasy monster.
Amazing!
So tell me what this adamantoise looks like and what it does.
So it kind of looks like a large creature.
Okay.
It kind of looks like an armadillo, but its little shelly shells are made of adamantium. And he like rolls and runs into you.
You're pretty right on.
Come on, y'all. Come on. I'm getting used to this. I could play this game.
Okay, so your total that you got right. And the total you got wrong.
That sounds about right. Yep.
Hey, good job. Did you have fun?
I had so much fun.
Did you learn something?
I thought that, like, I was going to do completely terribly, like, all the way across the board. And granted, I didn't know if it was a real or fake monster, but when I found out it was a real monster, describing it, I think I did pretty good.
Did you guys have a good time? Thank you so much for joining us and watching this video. We plan on doing a sequel to this where Shawna gets to present some D&D monsters and I have to guess whether they are real or fake.
It will be my turn.
Until then,
Stay mythic out there, geeks.
Hi geeks, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video.
If you would like to see more content from Mythic Geekdom, you're going to want to subscribe and check out some of the amazing videos that we've done. Wow, so many.
Look at the content. Oh my gosh, there's stuff. These ladies are mythically geeky. Wow.